Hi guys, it's Alan Cousins here from Ulverston Golf Club and welcome to another episode of the Friday Fix. It's been a nice busy week here. Good to see that the weather's sorted itself out and it's starting to get a little bit better. Had a good busy weekend, winter open on, and had plenty of fitting sessions this week as well. Also some loft and lie fitting sessions, some interesting results from that, from last week's video. So if you still want to get on that promotion, give us a ring and book in. But today we're going to focus on putters. Okay, there's a few things that we need to look into when selecting the right putter. Okay, one of the really important factors is just how it looks to yourself. Okay, personal preference. There's loads of different head designs, so it's really important that you look over the putt and you really like what you see. Okay, if it's something that you don't quite fancy, then you're not going to be as confident with the putt. Some other things to consider are the weight and the feel of the putter. Okay, so it's really important you don't just pick one off the shelf and just think it's right, or even more important, you don't just go online and because one of the tour pros is using something, it's going to be perfect for you. It's not always like that. Okay, you've got to pick them up and feel the right weight of them. So there's some examples here that we can show you that I've just picked out. So we've got the Ping Vault Answer putter. So it's got a thin top line, which will make it a little less forgiving. So if your stroke tends to wave a little bit, then the off-centre hits on this sort of putter won't quite be as effective. Okay, so really important you think about how you hit it, how you tend to hit your putt before deciding what head design you go with. Okay, good premium putter though, hand milled face, similar to the Scotty Cameron design, so that you get a really good solid roll off them, but the thin top won't be quite as forgiving. We'll then take a look at the Ping Crazy range. So you've got quite a large head on it. Okay, really big for alignment, and also extra weight around the head will create a more forgiving roll. When we use the term forgiving with putting, a lot of people don't really think it's that necessary, but it is a very important thing. If you're striking the ball just slightly off centre, off the toe or the heel area there, then it's not going to roll out quite as far. And if that's the difference between getting the line on the putt really good and it just coming up short, then that's a really important thing that you need to consider. Okay, so these sort of larger headed putters with extra weight on them are a better option to look at, for forgiveness in the putt. Okay, and then we've just picked out Scotty Cameron putter here, the Futura 5W. It's got more of a bladed look to it, but you've got the toe weight and the heel weight there, so you've got a really good forgiving model, okay, there in that range. So again, just a case of coming down, picking them up and having a putt. Okay, just like to welcome you all to Bailey, who's decided this week that he wants to make an appearance and and play around with the golf ball on the floor there. Okay, thanks very much, Bailey, there, you're doing a great job, good lad. And also we're going to do a little challenge this week for you guys. So if you want to come down, try out any of the putters that we've got in store. If you can get 5 in a row from, as you can see it there, that last circle on the putting mat, if you can hold 5 in a row, we will give you a free sleeve of the new Titleist Tour Soft ball. Okay, so that's a pretty good promotion. Alright, something there for you to pop down, come in the store, try a few of the putters out, and if you can get 5 in a row, we'll give you a free sleeve of them. Okay, thank you very much for listening, guys. Follow us down now to the teaching room where we'll be doing our tip of the week. Thank you very much, bye. Hey guys, welcome down here to the teaching room, and for this week's tip of the week we're going to be focusing on practice sessions and how you can create and build a really good and effective practice session. Okay, one of the first and probably the main thing about practice sessions is actually doing one. What I mean by that is we see a lot of people come down here Saturday comp, they come straight in the shop 5 minutes before the tee time, chuck us the money, grab the card, straight on the tee, and then they look a little bit annoyed when they've shot a net 89 and you wonder why when they've not had any practice during the week or had any warm-up before the round. Okay, so point number one, really big one, actually do a bit of practice. It's normally a good place to start. Okay, so when it comes to doing your practice session, another thing you see a lot of people do is they just come down here, great big bucket of balls, and they'll just go straight onto the driver, pull the big dog out and start doing full swings. And that's not the best way of doing it, because you're going straight into a full swing, you're not warmed up, you've got the longest club in the bag, the fastest swing that you're going to do. So not only are you going to lose a bit of confidence because you're not going to hit the shots as well as you'd like to, but you're also putting your body at risk of getting an injury because you're putting the fastest swing on straight away without warming up. Okay, so it's a really important thing to remember that. One thing I try and do when I come down here and practice is just start with a few short shots. Okay, you don't have to go straight into long swings. All right, so I just come down, I do a dozen sort of 50-yard shots to start with. Just making sure I'm not taking, you know, too long over each shot as well. That's another important thing to remember. Just make sure you just almost trying to go through your routine as though you would do when you're out on the course, okay? So don't rush each shot away because you're just going to tire yourself quicker. Alright, after a dozen or so shots, I'll then work on doing some full swings then with something like a mid-iron or a pitching wedge. I've only got my 7-iron down here, so that's what we'll then start to look at. We'll do a few full swings, about a dozen or so again with a mid-iron. Again, just warming yourself up into the swing by this point. Okay, and after that we can then start going into some of the longer stuff. Alright, so about 20 balls, 30 balls in, we can start then looking at getting the driver out because the body's now nice and warm, the muscles have loosened up a little bit. We're in a better position to put a good swing on it. We're feeling a bit more confident after them first few shots. Then we can start hitting a few drives. Okay, so there's some good little tips there. So just to do a little recap, point number one, make sure you have a practice session. Make sure that you vary the clubs that you use. Don't jump in and go straight on the driver. Warm yourself up into the session and randomise it a little bit. Okay, so practice as though you would do out on the course and don't rush all the shots off. Okay, take your time with it all. Alright, try that before the season starts. Get yourself down, have a few practice sessions in between each game. As we're on the topic of practice, I'm just going to talk you through now some of the things that I'm working on myself in my swing. Okay, check it out. Okay guys, so I'm just going to show you now some of the little bits and pieces that I'm going to be working on myself in my swing. Previously I've been trying to get a little bit taller in my posture, but as you can see it just needs to be, for me, a little bit taller, get a little bit rounded at the top of the shoulders there. So I'm going to just try and work on getting this body posture up a little bit, get my neck and my shoulders into the back a little bit more, create a nice straight line posture. Couple of other things I've been trying to work on is getting a little bit more sort of outside on my takeaway, because I get a little bit flat sometimes with my arms, and also getting my hands, you know, into a little bit more of a parallel position to this white line that we see here at address. So that's a pretty decent position for what I've been working on there. Getting up to the top of the swing, quite happy with the position at the top, but a lot of the work that I'll be doing hopefully in the next couple of weeks is going to be on the downswing here. So top of the swing, some good positions really there, nice and parallel with my left arm at the top. My lower body retention's quite good, I'm not moving that too much, but one of my bad moves is I sort of collapse into the ball a little bit on the downswing. So if we just watch the right leg now and the upper body on the downswing, the right leg drops and kicks forward, which forces the head to get a bit low through impact. What that does, basically, a lot of my downswing now becomes pushing out this way, which creates a more out to in path on the ball, which makes my bad shot a little bit of a pull, or generally it fades, which could turn into a bit of a slice. So, you know, for me, next bit of work is going to be more trying to keep this right leg more stable, stop it from collapsing on the downswing, try and maintain a little bit more upper body height. That'll create a good little bit more room where I can sort of square up my swing path and hopefully hit some better shots that way and get rid of that nasty pull out of the game. Generally though, quite happy with the bits that I've been working on, but as we know as golfers, there's always something that you can improve on. Thanks very much for watching this week, guys. If you like what you see and enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. See you next week.